Two fashion capitals, 1 week, and two people whom the universe seems to stubbornly put in the same frame even if they no longer plan it. While Hande Erçel in Paris becomes a special guest at the Elie Saab show, just a few days earlier, Kerem Bürsin appears in the front row at Milan Fashion Week. And this is already the second time that it is these two former lovers who are invited in parallel out of all Turkish stars.
Subscribe to our channel to always stay in the loop with the most fascinating content. And now,
let's get started. In Paris during Fashion Week, Hande Erçel once again found herself at the center of attention this time as an honorary guest of the Elie Saab show. For the Turkish actress, this is no longer just a one-off appearance at a runway event, but a natural stage. The brand with which she has crossed paths more than once on red carpets and at awards now elevates her status to a face representing the elegance of the Eastern Mediterranean on the European fashion scene. At the daytime show, Hande appears in a look built around the DNA of Elie Saab. Clean lines, emphasis on silhouette, fabric that works for the movement of the cameras. She does not experiment for the sake of experimentation. On the contrary, she fits clearly into the house's aesthetic, where luxury is read not by logos, but by cut and fit. In the evening of the same day, she is already in a different space and a different visual code at the Valentino show. Here, her look becomes softer and more romantic, yet still perfectly calibrated. She switches from the Eastern elegant Saab to Italian classic Valentino without any sense of dissonance, like a person who feels confident in any fashion context. For the European industry, this is an important signal. Hande is no longer just a popular Turkish actress invited for reach, but a full-fledged part of the big fashion conversation, where her stylistic choices carry weight. The Turkish press emphasizes the very fact. In the official messages about the Elie Saab show, her name appears in the same row as global influencers and actresses, and the front row shots instantly spread across multi-brand accounts and fan pages. A couple of days earlier, another city and another fashion house. Kerem Bürsin appears in Milan at one of the key shows of Fashion Week, again in the front row, again in the format of Turkish actor who looks organic in the European fashion case. For Milan, this is already a familiar scenario. Kerem has been working with major brands for more than one season, and his presence at shows has long gone beyond a one-time friendship with the PR department. Here he performs the same function as Hande in Paris, quietly, without noise. He expands the perception of Turkish actors as faces of the global industry, and not just local series. And it is at this layer of professional geography that the very stroke appears which turns the dry fashion calendar into a topic for discussion. This is already the second case when former lovers Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin are invited almost simultaneously to different shows within the framework of European fashion weeks, and specifically them, out of dozens of other Turkish stars. Formally, there is nothing sensational between the events. Different cities, different brands, different schedules. But for the viewer who remembers Sen Çal Kapımı, the story of their relationship and the subsequent parallel career trajectories, such coincidences look like the continuation of an invisible dialogue. Every time Hande steps onto the red carpet in Paris in front of the cameras, and a little earlier or later Kerem appears in shots from Milan, the public reads this not only as a sign of their demand, but also as yet another proof that the fashion industry does not abandon the two of them, neither separately nor as a once existing duo. For the brands, this is an ideal arrangement. Two charismatic faces with a strong fan base, associated both with rom-coms and with the modern image of Turkey, are present in the agenda in parallel, each in their own city, each in their own story, but always in the same information lane. For the fans, another reason to discuss, notice date coincidences, build theories, and rewatch old scenes from Sen Çal Kapımı. And for the fashion industry itself, what is happening speaks of simpler things. Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin have finally moved into the category of artists whose names work on a global level, and fashion weeks in Paris and Milan are now part of their professional routine, even if the former shared history remains off camera, about which they no longer need to speak out loud. What do you think of the looks of our favorite actors?
On a Paris night, golden heels and the city's alive. Bomb and silk body so divine. She got the fire, she's blowing my mind. Moonlight on the sand, she's the fantasy. Every move she makes feels like ecstasy. Cameras flash, but I only see her eyes on me. Oh, we Hande in Paris. Oh, she's so dangerous. Champagne flows, velvet skin under Dior clothes. Whisper secrets in the midnight air. Paris love, we can take it anywhere. Every heartbeat feels like a melody. The world is watching, but it's you and me. She's the headline, the fantasy, the cover girl of my wildest dreams. Hande in Paris, oh, she's so dangerous, dripping in fashion, looking outrageous. She don't need no crown, she already runs the town. Hande in Paris, baby, let's get scandalous tonight. Silk sheets, city heat, candle glow. She's the show, everybody wanna know. But when the lights go down, she's mine. Paris nights never felt so fine. Hande in Paris, oh baby, don't stop. Body talking louder than the Eiffel Top. Hande in Paris, baby, let's get scandalous tonight. Red lips on a Paris night, golden heels and the city's alive. Balm and silk body so divine. She got that fire, yeah, she's blowing my mind. Moonlight on the Seine, she's the fantasy. Every move she makes feels like ecstasy. Cameras flash, but I only see her eyes on me. Oh, we Hande in Paris. Oh, she's so dangerous, dripping in fashion, looking outrageous. She don't need no crown, she already runs the town. Hande in Paris. of my wildest dream. And dead in Paris. Ooh, she's so dangerous, dripping in fashion, looking outrageous. She don't need no crown, she already runs the town. And dead in Paris, baby, let's get scandalous tonight. Silk sheets, city, candle glow. She's the show everybody wanna know, but when the lights go down, she's mine. Paris nights never felt so fine. And then in Paris, oh baby, don't stop. Body talking louder than the Eiffel Tower. And then in Paris, oh, baby, let's get scandalous tonight. And then in Paris, yeah, she's the headliner